I think it was, I don't know if it was Tim Cook who called these hybrid devices. It's like smashing together a refrigerator and a toaster. I actually made the argument that with these hybrid devices that combine the keyboard and touchscreen, that in certain ways it's the best of both worlds as it applies to Windows 8. Right. Those types of solutions don't make sense for Apple, but maybe they make sense for this operating system. What do you think? Do these hybrid devices have a chance?
I'm not a giant fan of the hybrid idea. I actually think I'm the kind of like there's a whole spectrum of knowledge workers, people who call themselves knowledge workers. I actually could pull the plug and not get a Windows Surface Pro. I don't need the Intel base. I use very few Win32 apps. I think I use one consistently now.
Wow.
And Notepad, right?
Notepad. I knew I knew
State
which one. Notepad and Snagit, I think, are the two apps that I use. But I think there's going to be more and more people like me who can kind of keep all the things that they used to keep on their PC in the cloud. And I think they actually could make a compelling case for a Windows on ARM tablet being a business device for a certain kind of a business user.
Right.
Somebody like me.
Especially if a lot of it's virtualized.
Right.
Right.
If a lot of it's just up in the cloud, your data's in the cloud, or you can make use of, because when I use things like PowerPoint or OneNote or whatever, I use them very gingerly and very limitedly. So I think there are a lot of people like me out there who could get away with that.
Yeah. So Ed, the point that you made about the cloud and Microsoft, the progress that they've made there, especially with the Windows ID and how that signs you into everything. I was going to sort of segue to a question to Avram, because SkyDrive also plays a role in Windows 8, and I was going to ask your opinion about how good a job has Microsoft done in leveraging the cloud with their new OS?
So I agree with Ed that having the synchronization feature where you can log in and your settings are synced is really key. However, at least in the build of Windows that we've seen, RTM, you don't have SkyDrive on the desktop. And I really feel like I think most users will get the sense that you want to be able to use the same application or the same storage across your desktop apps and your Metro apps. And SkyDrive does not come pre-installed for the desktop. If you're in WordPad and you go to save as something, there's no SkyDrive. Yet when you're in the Metro UI, you have full access to SkyDrive. I think that's going to be a confusing user experience.
So,
but hang on just for a second, though, because there is a SkyDrive app for Windows.
Right.
It's just bundled separately, so you have to go to the SkyDrive site and install it.
Right.
OEMs who sell new PCs with Windows 8 on them, I guarantee it, will include the SkyDrive app pre-installed. So for people like us who upgrade our existing PCs to Windows 8, or who build our own PCs and install it from TechNet or whatever. For us, we have to go through that extra step. But 90% or more of the PCs that get into the hands of consumers come with the software pre-installed by an OEM, and those OEMs are going to put that SkyDrive app on there. So I agree that there's a discontinuity for early adopters like us, but consumers and even small business people who buy new PCs with Windows 8 on it are not going to see that discontinuity.